Tell me if this sounds familiar. The year is 2006 and you're sitting in your living room on your couch minding your damn business watching daytime TV. Let's just assume you were watching Jerry Springer for whatever reason. And before he gives his final thoughts, the show goes to commercial break. First commercial.
Are you insured?
Yes.
By survival?
No.
I can't take that ride.
Then second commercial.
For the best car insurance rates in town, call 1-800-GENERAL.
And the next commercial.
And it's here at DeVry.
Now that I think of it, that was a pretty classic era in daytime TV, wasn't it? I digress. And last but not least, that commercial comes on. You know what commercial I'm talking about.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, and your life is passing you by.
Yes, the infamous Everest college guy. I don't know about you, but when I first saw this commercial, it low-key had me in my feelings a little bit. Just a little bit.
Talk to somebody right now.
First of all, why are you yelling in my living room? You
Why
don't
you make a
know
phone
my
call
life.
that's gonna help you in your future? All you
I
gotta do is
don't
pick
need
up
no
the
damn
phone and
Everest
make the
college
call.
to be no
You're
rapper.
making it complicated. It's easy.
My music career is a real job, and you know I'm on the couch anyways. Got cameras in here?
Needless to say, I was a bit insecure about my music career at this stage, and for some reason, this commercial played every hour on the hour, and this man just seemed to know the exact words to push my buttons.
Go talk to somebody right now. They out to help you. You spend all day on the phone anyhow.
I honestly don't remember any other commercials during that period being so aggressive and so irritated with the viewer. It reminded me of that one uncle that your mom sends to your room when you're younger and you ain't really that motivated. He comes in there to motivate you. You know what I'm talking about.
Let me know if you need any tips, all right? I can help you out.
Imagine that. ABA Youngboy is gonna give me tips on how to make beats, huh?
Yeah, that one. Speaking of which, I don't know about your elders, but my grandfather, oh my God, he loved this commercial.
Uh-huh. Finally, somebody talking some damn common sense on this here TV. You listening, little boy? All that music and all that you doing? Yes, sir. Music ain't no real job. You hear me? Playing that damn Nintendo, PlayStation 2. You need to get up and get out there and listen to that man and go down there to Everest College and see what they got for you.
Yes, sir. Right? I'm gonna go down there today, okay? I don't know where it's at, but I'm gonna look for it.
While I had little to no interest in enrolling in Everest College, this notion that music wasn't a real job, it really hit home for me. Mostly because that's also the same thing my elders were saying at that moment. And since music wasn't really paying any of my bills at that time, I found myself working at a job I really couldn't stand. Fun fact, the last day that I worked a 9-to-5 job and I quit, guess who came on the TV during my lunch break? Yep. You guessed it, Mr. Average College Guy with the black dad hat. So it's been almost 16 years since that commercial first aired, and to this day, you still see numerous spoofs of it on YouTube, comedians like Mike Epps cracking jokes on it.
Don't you hate that guy on that college commercial, that Everest college commercial?
And even you, yes you in the comments on this very channel telling me how much my motivational videos remind you of that commercial. Shut up. You know, I've always wondered what happened to the Average College Guy and what was the real story behind such an iconic commercial. Because everybody knows it.
It's gonna help you in your future. All you gotta do is pick up the phone and make the call. Why are you making it complicated? It's easy.
With that in mind, I decided to do some internet research. And after some digging on Google, I found out that this gentleman's name was actually Babatunde, or Tunde for short. And he's from Phoenix, Arizona.
While other nations live amongst the police state, survive off wheat and grain, and we complain eating snake.
And get this, Tunde is a rapper. Oh, I wish my grandfather was here today to hear that news. Whew. Rest in peace. With all of this information, I was able to find his Instagram page, and to my surprise, he was already following me. That's when I started to have flashbacks like, I wonder if he followed me because I said something crazy, because he's definitely been mentioned more than a few times on his channel.
Gotta get it done. What are you waiting on? I feel like the guy from the Everest College commercial, especially with his dad hat. You're sitting on your couch and you're doing nothing. Why don't you do something while you're doing nothing? Pick this book up. Stop playing. Do it now. I sound like the Everest College guy.
Well, regardless of that, I still attempted to reach out to him to see if he'd be down for an interview. And he said he was down.
Good to meet you, by the way, man. It's been a pleasure
Pleasure to hang out with you.
I've been following you, and because I like your content and I like your beats, I like your production.
You found a way to cut through the conversation, the noise that was occurring on television at that point in time, and you spoke in a way that wasn't really the norm. How did that come to be?
It's one of those situations where any little minor thing could have been different and it wouldn't have happened.
Sure.
Like there's so many factors. My boy, goes by the name of Adam. Adam had been on the set, the Everest College set. It consisted of a producer, director, and a cameraman, and then they hired out a PA, production assistant.
Okay.
Adam had been working it for the whole week.
So he wasn't someone who attended the college.
No.
Did you attend the college at all?
Hell no, I didn't. No. If I had attended an Everest College, I couldn't have got paid for none of the commercials. Okay. I took Adam's space. We went around and interviewed graduates. The last interview of the day was in East Mesa. This is all in Phoenix, Arizona, by the way. It was the last candidate for the day. And I had a good rapport with the guys the whole day. We're joking and clowning. Good group of guys. We go and interview this guy. He lives in Mesa. It's pretty deep from Phoenix. He has a paralegal degree or certification, and he's driving a limo. He's not even using the certification or degree he got from Everest. He's driving a limo. So we go out there, and it's a big waste of time. And you know how production is. That's money. And so is a dud. So we're driving on our way back and the sun's going down, and so they're talking about, man, that was a stupid interview, we can't cash in on that, we don't have any usable footage. And they're talking amongst each other, and they finally come back and ask me, and I'm sitting in the back seat with Ben, the cameraman, and they asked me, Tunde, what would you do? How would you do these commercials? If you were, what approach would you take? And I just strictly told him, I said, 2 things you need to address the excuses
of the viewer that's watching.
Like if I'm doing a negotiation, I'm gonna address your excuses first. Your reasons why you wouldn't.
Or what they say, the elephant in the room is what you want to address.
I'm gonna
first.
address those
101.
out the gate. Don't bring them up 30 seconds down the line or 20 seconds. Address those first.
Right.
And then I said, and secondly, you need to talk to them like they're your homeboys or like they're your family members. We all know people that need to hear it.
Yes.
They need to hear the message. Hey, man, what are you doing, man? You gonna smoke weed all day, nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Right.
As I'm doing this, they're all looking at each other like, oh my God.
You had an audition, didn't even know it, huh?
That's what I'm like. They're just like, oh my God, he might be onto something. The producer's driving and Topher's in the passenger seat, and I just see them look at each other and they look at Ben.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we're gonna try something. Initially, I was like, I didn't want to be an actor. I wanted to direct it. Remember, we were at a Embassy Suites on Thomas and 24th Street in Phoenix, Arizona. We get back to where they were staying, and we didn't even have correct lighting. So I'm in a parking lot. That dormitory.
You are slowly destroying my childhood. You wasn't even on the campus of Everest.
No,
I had your whole life in my head.
That's
like, oh, you was at the college. That was on the campus. So you said you guys didn't even have proper lighting. So what did you light with?
They had a car. They turned the car around, put the headlights on. It might have been the brights even. Might have even been the brights. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
And what's funny is, during the commercial, I'm very emotional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm very expressive. And for a long time, people thought like that was just my personality.
Right.
Like I'm just
You're
always
just
very like, and very,
like, why can't
overly assertive and aggressive and stuff.
Because your energy was like, why don't you get it? I'm like,
so what they would do, they'd ask me the same question like 6 times.
Purposely trying to get you.
Yeah, and so by the 6th time I'm answering, I'm like, it's easy. Why are you making it so complicated? You know what I'm saying? Like cutting my eyes and
we meeting you at a 10.
Yeah.
And it took you multiple takes to get
But that's what you're supposed to do, right? As a director. And even at the time they were doing it, I realized what they were doing, but I was still frustrated. Because I think I was tired and I wanted to go home, and it's genuine. Then they directed me to get the performance out of me. When we initially did it, they just said, we're just going to do some test runs and we'll send it to corporate and we'll see what they say.
Oh.
And they didn't even tell me they started running it.
So how did you find out?
I found out, it was the most beautiful moment of my life, wholeheartedly. My daughters called me.
Wow.
During the whole Everest thing, I was splitting up with my baby mama at the time. She was leaving me, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks after I did it. And my daughters called me and I picked up, Dad, we saw you on TV.
Wow.
And I thought she was joking, and I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I don't know what you were saying," because Kiana was screaming the whole time. That was everything right there.
Oh, it had to be a beautiful.
If I'd never gotten money, no, never mind. Had I known even the tactic was gonna work, I'd have been much more deliberate about things.
Yeah.
And I damn sure would have been SAG. One thing the whole Everest College experience did for me was to reveal to me how much bullshit the whole Hollywood construct is. And don't get me wrong, my life changed. It's cool being recognized. And for me, I'm more infamous than famous.
if you had an opportunity to talk to those very same folks who are now older, probably my age, and update the message for something that you're seeing from this generation that obviously you've been a voice for, what would you update, if anything, and what would you say to them?
There's two things I would say to them. The first thing I would say, just in terms of where my heart's at, love your kids and be great parents. Other than that, I would tell, especially that generation, that younger generation, we live in an era where, I don't know, everything is justified by attention and likes and follows. Everything is justified by money. Everything's okay as long as you're rich. That's what we live in a society. Like it doesn't matter your morals. A lot of this materialism, a lot of this, everybody's trying to get rich and wealthy. And I'm not anti-rich and wealth. What are you doing with it? If you're not serving God with it, it's just a distraction. Because your soul is so much bigger. A lot of people want to be wealthy and rich to indulge. I understand comfort. We all want to be comfort.
Sure.
But you got to be uncomfortable to be comfortable too. It's a balance. I just try to lead by example.
Yeah.
That's why this is, and honestly, I could have, this is not no ego thing, but I could have shared this with
any platform.
I could have, the last 15 years, it's been 15 years. But the reason why I was attracted to you and drawn to you and your platform when you contacted me was from jump, you seem like a very genuine person.
Right. Appreciate that.
I like your wit. You're not nasty. You're not mean. Your heart's in the right spot. And I like the fact you seem like a godly man and you're a family man. That's how I measure people, especially men. How good of a husband and a father are you? Whenever I see a black man with his family especially, I try to address him as a king, but I'll do it so that his wife and his kids could hear it. Me giving him that respect.
Meeting the Everest College guy, better known as Tunde, taught me a lot about how easy it is to judge those we see on the other side of the smartphones and TVs. But most times we have no idea what their journey has been like up until that point. Something funny I realized is that before I started listening to motivational speakers like Tony Robbins and Les Brown, he was probably the first motivational speaker I saw on my television. Yeah, and that's probably why our means of motivation are so similar sometimes. And even if that commercial did get on my nerves and your nerves back then, I think the message was still received. Life is short. Get off the couch and use your time wisely. Yeah. Peace.